I already glued the foundation, but here's some things that you need to know. Oh, look, I just found the instructions. Make sure the two centerpieces are completely flush with the top, bottom, and two sides of the outside parts. If you have them flipped the other way, they're not going to be flush. I use clamps because I wanted to make sure that I had all the angles correct and it was nice and tight. And I also secured the middle parts with painter's tape. And it's all nice and snug and fits perfectly. Now we're going to remove the tape and the clamps. I love these handy dandy clamps. Excellent purchase. Okay, so this dried overnight, it's nice and solid. And now we're going to paint it. I chose the colour Kendall Charcoal by Benjamin Moore. We only need to paint the exterior of the frame because nothing else is going to show, because the house is going to be on it and it's going to be sat on a table, floor, whatever. I put one coat on and then I sand it down with a 220 sandpaper. Now we're ready to do the stones. So I'm using tacky glue. I'm just putting a couple of inches on top of the base, which is obviously dried. I tear up tiny pieces of an egg carton, and I don't just use the flat parts, I use the bumpy parts, and you'll notice when you start tearing it, some are thin, some are thick. I want a variety, and I literally tear them into tiny, tiny pieces. And then I adhere them to the glue, and I'm using the tweezers to make sure that they're pressed down, especially around the outer edge. This is time consuming, so put on your favorite music, turn it up, and just get stuck in. So I've got 2 laid down right now.
That would be 3.
I'm adding some more, and again, very carefully using the tweezers to make sure all of it is pressed down firmly. This is why I like the tacky glue. 1, it holds it really, really well. And 2, you do have time to move it around. And then I look and search for little tiny pieces to fit in between. Okay, I sped it up for you because it's very boring to watch. If only I could really do it at this speed, it would be amazing. Once I have all the egg cartons glued on all the way around the base, making sure you don't have any that are sticking up above or below, otherwise nothing's going to fit full. I mix up, this was, I think it was called Country Grey, just an acrylic paint I got for 58 cents on Amazon. And any of the larger pieces, the lumps that stick out, I am putting that colour on there. And again, this is time consuming, but it's kind of therapeutic. I didn't have any issues doing this. Next, I'm mixing a little bit of pewter grey in there. I want a darker shade. And I'm going to dab over some of the stones which have not yet been painted. These two colours actually were quite, they had like a little green base to them, which I kind of liked because it made it look a little bit older. And the other thing which you didn't see me do right there, I added about 30% water to the paint because I want it really thin. Next I'm using a burnt umber. There, I put the water in, and I'm going to use a really tiny brush and try and get in all like the deep crevices. So where the egg carton is much thinner, I'm using that so it's got some kind of depth. And then I actually use what you can see me doing right there is actually a white highlighter, and I just go over anything which I could see might kind of want to stand out. I brush it on, and then I use a dry brush to brush it out. So it literally just clings to the really top bits. Many people now seal it. I did not. I'm using this spackle, Red Devil spackle. It's like marshmallow fluff. It's so light and easy to work with. I do colour it. I add just a tiny bit of the burnt umber. Mix that really, really well. I tried 2 different methods of getting this on. First of all, I wanted no mess, so I decided upon a syringe. Went on lovely, but honestly, I couldn't be bothered to do it that way. Then I just use a popsicle stick to smush it all over. Smush. That worked okay, but I found actually your fingers are your best tools. So I just make sure there isn't any on the bottom or any at the top, because otherwise it's not going to be level and it won't lie flat. And I just rub it in to make sure it gets into all the little crevices, just like you would with real grouting. Then I use a very lightly damp sponge and I wipe off the excess. And then I have a little toothbrush, a little baby one from the Dollar Tree. And I just scrub very gently the stones to get any of that spackle off of the stones. This was so easy. I was dreading doing this. I thought it was going to be really messy and awful, but it really wasn't. It was super easy. And I tried other different mortars and grouts.
Oh my god,
it was terrible results. I even tried rolled stones. Terrible results. So I spent all that money and I could have just done it this way. I started off just working a couple of inches at a time because I didn't know how quickly it was going to dry. But by the time I'd done that first row, the second row, I did the second side. I just went for it. I went all the way down and I didn't have any issues. You just have to work quite quickly. Obviously, this is sped up. So just rub it all in. Paper towel. Don't use a paper towel. It's too rough. And I notice it does actually pull away on some of the egg cartons. And then I finish off, once it's all nice and dry, with polycrylic. I apply a coat. This is not as easy because obviously it's bumpy than trying to do something that's really smooth. And then I used a dry paintbrush just to get some of the excess off so it didn't dry murky. And I actually ended up putting 2 coats on because I always like everything to have a really good hard finish. And again, I just make sure there isn't any on the bottom or the top so that it can sit completely flat. There's me doing the other side. Super easy. I thought this was going to be so difficult. No, real stones and grout is difficult. This was brilliant. And this is what it looks like. It looks like real stone. And if you have anything that is bumping up or down so it won't sit flush, just use some sandpaper and just go over it. All right, now it's time to glue the foundation. I am gluing all the frames apart from where the front of the porch is going to sit, because I don't want to glue that on quite yet. So I brush all the glue on, I use tacky glue. I enlist the help of my husband to make sure everything is completely square, straight. Nothing is out of line. And he's so much better at doing that than I am. And I check to make sure that the porch base or the porch floor is going to fit. I put some weight in there, books and beans and tomatoes, tuna, whatever I had. There we go. That's it. Now we need to work on the porch. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, like, share, all of the above. It does help me out. See you next time. Bye.